Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Citizen Sleeper. Last episode, turns out that the person who had our bounty on us, his contract cancelled it, which is either a good thing or a bad thing for us, depending who basically picked up the contract, which is a bit worrying. We also have a couple of missions, which is that the woman we're helping repair a ship, she needs a ship mind. The random AI that we found hiding in an abandoned dock needs a ship mind as well. And yeah, the person that we thought was helping us with a medical issue basically turned out to not be helping us at all and ran off. So that's not great. And we still need to make money, as always. Let's start with that. Bit of money, bit of scrap. That's not too bad. Okay. So we can get some medicine from there, which will be cheaper. Minnie and Lynn's apartment. Yeah. Babysit Mina. Let's do that. By the end of the day, Mina curls up in your lap as you read her story. She's asleep when Lem gets back, and the two eat together. That's nice. Got to have a couple of other points left. Influence, maybe. Spoke Clamberer. That might be useful, actually. Let's try. Yeah, condition takes a hit. That's not great. Okay. Low end engineering, which gives energy. Low ender, maybe be worth it. Let's try that. Let's see where this takes us. Yeah, we lose a little bit of cryo, but we advance along. And with that done, there's not a lot we can do but rest for the day. Ooh, man, we just keep on getting bad dice rolls. Well, if nothing else... So the trader's here. He's got 2 limited supply. Can't haggle over price. Okay, so he's limited with supply. So we can't do him any more work. Rabia is also open for now as well. And let's go and see what C wants. As you approach the address Rabia gave you, a heavy handful of soda. What is your business here? The enforcer grips your shoulder, giving a hint of the strength her implants give her. As you turn, you see the same subsidiary eyes as Reba and Tossero, glinting like mirrors on her cheeks. Gia, please. The sleeper is here by my invitation. At Reba's command, the hand immediately loosens and an apologetic look replaces the scowl on Gia's face. Of course, Reba. I'm sorry. Reba waves her away. Don't you worry. I appreciate your protective instincts. She smiles at the enforcer. How about you head to the Tambura? They have a delivery coming and they need some help with their lifting. Gia nods and walks away. So, Sleeper, you've come. I'm glad. It didn't feel like an offer, you said. I'm sorry for that. So, she smiles a tight smile. You have to understand, finding you there in Sabine's unit, I wasn't sure where we stood. There are more than a few people on this station who would rather I was dead. I had to be sure you weren't one of them. I wish you no harm, you say. I'm glad. Reba begins walking and gestures for you to walk with her. She takes you down the staircase into a bustling walkways of the low end. What do you know about Yatagan? You run the low end, you say. She laughs. That sounds impressive. We run out of the low end, yes, we don't run it. The people with carts push past, moving crates of supplies around the thin and winding passages. Our reputation is one that implies threat. Is that fair to say? We are framed as aggressors, parasites, criminals. She gestures around at the people in the passageways. But when was the last time you saw a lawmaker on the eye, a policeman who makes the laws here? Erlin did. Indeed, you understand the history then. That is good, but Erlin is long dead, Sleeper, and his rules were little more than an optimistic manifesto. The Eye has changed so much since then. If you had spent your time in the low end, maybe your opinion of us would be different. This is our place, our people. The low end was empty in Erlin's time. They didn't need to house thousands and keep the yards and rotunda safe. They didn't need to house thousands, and keeping the yards and rotunda safe was work enough. No, the low end was reclaimed later when the refugees started arriving. Reba meets your eye. The collapse didn't just happen here on this station. When Solheim collapsed, the entire system felt it. Colonies were abandoned, the moons of Ember and Cinder suddenly gained independence overnight. Some took advantage, some tried to hold it together, some fled. The Eye became a refuge, and Erlin, to his credit, extended an open hand to everyone, but many within his organisation disagreed, and those new arrivals weren't as simple to corral as they'd hoped. Reba leads you through a small market hall busy with small stores and traders. Erlin's union was made of workers, administrators, people who were malleable and already organised into the hierarchies and networks. The refugees came from different factions and families, were scared, injured, desperate. Conflict was inevitable. Yatagan is a child of that conflict, a child born out of the need for us to stand up and claim our future, to provide security, strength. People call us a gang, but we are a community. I take my position as lieutenant seriously, and from my birth I have worked to earn it. Reba catches herself before she raises her voice any further, and you both walk in silence for a while. Amongst the smells and textures of the low end, you start to wonder if this place could be home for you too. Where do I come into this? Reba smiles to herself and thinks for a moment before she responds. I believe that you understand the importance of a refuge, so I also believe that you wish to help keep this place safe. She exhales quietly. For this reason, I would like you to trust me. I don't know what Sabine told you about us, but I imagine it was not good. I will be honest with you, Sleeper. I was never comfortable with having Sabine as part of the Yatagan, an ex-corporate employee. It goes against our nature. But the deal was with Yannick. I kept my distance, made sure Sabine had their surgery, kept it supplied. That was all. But I cannot allow people to go back on promises they have made to us. Yatagan has not lasted as long because of its charity. We offer and ask for support. Any betrayal will be treated as an attack. Who is Yannick? Yannick is one of the heads of Yatagan. They guide us. He is the newest to be elected. He is an elder. Sabine found something, you say. Please, I don't want to hear of accusations. They only wanted to escape their debt. They would have said anything, but where are they now to stand behind their claims? I will find them, you say. As will we. You realise that Reba has led you into a loop. Together you both came back up the staircase to a walkway where you met. You are free to go, Sleeper. I have said what I wish to say. She looks out through the windows of the walkway. I would protect this place with my life, as it has protected me. I will make that clear, she intones. She turns back. However, if you too wish to come under its protection, I can help you. Return here if you wish, and you will be tasked for you to complete. You will be able to see Yatagan, to see the lower end with your own eyes, not as others frame us. As for Sabine, she pauses to consider her words. I will not ask you to portray them. but if they contact you again, consider their motivations carefully. With that, Reba leaves, slipping back into her office, while you stare out at the countless units, each a home, each of a story, that make up the lower end. Okay, so we've got a new mission. Work for Reba. Okay. A new story point, so that's it. Reba's office. Collecting tithes, patrolling the ward. Okay. Selling components, paying the exchange. We still need to find someone that can put the ship mind back together, which is the thing I really want to do. Yet again, dispensary, we don't need it yet. Actually, let's just check to see how much it actually is to get some medicine. It's cheaper than it was. It's gone down from 100 to 80. So it's not too bad. Still not great. Right. Low end. We could do another exploration. It's risky. But nothing ventured, nothing gained. Advanced tracker there a little bit. Lost a little bit of money. Nothing too bad. Progress the story of Mina, perhaps. A ticket out. That could be our way to get out of the station. Probably going to throw this one in here. Yeah, pushes it along, gets us a little bit of money. They're full up on that. We can't haggle over price. They had information where we needed to go, though. That basically allows us to work for money, yeah. That gets our energy back up. Well, we can start trying to clamber the eye. That's dangerous if we do that, so we'd have to use a 6. Let's push Mina's story along. Let's see where this goes. She's asleep, whispers Lem, creeping back out of the unit's tiny bedroom, sliding the door shut as he does. You are perched at the thin bar in the main room, the slate in front of you still glowing with Mina and your drawings from the cycle spent together. There's a ring, the only world Mina has known, with stick figures standing along its edge. The tall one is you. Drink? Asked Lem, producing a warm-looking bottle of Groll from under the bar. Its contents glow amber in the fluorescent light. Sure, you say. Lem nods and glugs a few fingers into a couple of metal tumblers, then sits down with you at the bar. Cheers, he offers, and you clink the metal containers together. You know, we actually have something to celebrate this time around. Lem gives you a sideways look. I made the assembly team on the Sidrill. He grins broadly. Clearly he has been desperate to tell you all the cycle. Knew it, you said. Lem holds up a drink. You did get there first, friend. I'll give you that. He looks away. Seriously, though, couldn't have done it without you, keeping an eye on little Meanie back there. Lem sifts a little on the stool. He looks uncomfortable. How's our girl doing, Sleeper? I haven't seen much of her these past cycles. She misses her father, you say. Lem looks away. Yeah, he says to no one in particular. The silence stretches out as Lem takes a drink, his eyes fixed on the bedroom door. You okay? You say? He nods. Can't take all the credit for Mina. She isn't actually mine. He gazes into the middle distance. I pulled her off a refuge shuttle out by one of the Ember's moons. The colony was falling apart for decades after Solheim collapsed, surviving on next to nothing. Eventually, some of the residents tried to make for the eye on these decrepit old shuttles. He sloshes the drink around in his tumbler. They had no idea what they were doing. The one Mina was on decompressed halfway there. Everyone spaced. The only reason she made it was someone sealed her in a weapon locker. She was ice cold when I reached her purple lips. He shivers. Once I picked her up, I wouldn't let go. The medics treated her with me still clinging to her. He takes a drink. Still not sure why. He reaches over and refills his cup. We weren't exactly anybody's heroes, you understand. We were private military hired in by Conway to protect their claims in the collapse. But once I got Mina, that was it. I quit. Got us dumped here. You saved her, you say. I'm going to sound like an idiot but he sighs. She saved me. That's the truth of it. He looks around the decaying unit. It's stained, plastic plating and flickering lights. Me and I brought her to this. I brought her to this. She was tiny, too small to know what she lost, but I couldn't stop thinking about it. He rubs his eyes, dark with tiredness. What is our number? What if our number didn't come up in the draw sleeper? What then? The Sidriol will sail off without a thought, leaving us here. What kind of life is that for her? You'll make it, you say. Sorry, I know you don't have it. I know you don't have any better. He looks at his cup and pushes it away down the bar. This is a celebration, right? Both of us on the team now. Both of us with a chance. Exactly, you say. Imagine all three of us riding the Sidriol horizon out there to a new world. He looks into his glass for a moment. I think I drank this too fast. He laughs. Lem stands and starts to clear the glasses into the autosser. I need some sleep, friend. Me too, you say. Alright then, he catches your soda as you turn to leave. Thank you, sleeper. I mean it, from both of us. He pats your soda and you slip out into the dark of the hallway with thoughts of little Mina on your mind. We got an upgrade point. Okay, so we got 2 points. Where do we want to push this? Personally, I'm going to put it into instant karma because it allows us to reroll a dice. So if you get a really bad dice reroll, we can just basically press this button and get hopefully a better roll of the dice, which is really important in this game. So let's grab it. We grab that, and then we'll probably push down, next time we go, probably push down the engineering path. Okay. With that done, I mean, we haven't got a lot else we can do. Energy is something I got a lot of. So let's try for energy. Yeah, we lost a bit of energy. It happens. But got a gun insider. It perks up. It just is how it is. Okay. Let's head back to base and end the cycle. Okay, our energy isn't looking great. We can either do that, go to here, let's try that. Get most of our energy back. Our condition isn't looking great, but we got a bit more money in the tank. And buy scrap as well if needs be. Can't buy any more parts. And I need to find some way of getting these sit fragments put together. Okay. First things first. Throw that into there. That pushes along, gets a bit more money in the tank. His thing is ticking up. Okay, so if what we have, I need somebody that can put together this hive brain thing of ours. So where do we want to basically do that? Could also think about maybe start clambering the eye. It's not a huge thing to do. We can't fail it. Yeah, so let's start clambering up this. So I need to find somewhere that can put the brain back together. So this is our best bet. Our condition is also not great. Yeah. The loss of energy is also going to suck. I might have to basically bite the bullet. And also maybe I throw a little bit of drink there, see what happens. Get a bit of energy back, not too bad. Excellent. Okay, so let's end the cycle. That's actually a pretty good hand, not going to lie. My condition is going down, but I really don't want to pop a an energy pill unless I have to. So let's get that going. Earn a bit more money. Ship's taken off. Energy isn't looking great. What's that? Ooh. Ports, exports. Export water sack, mushrooms, sell ship mind, buy ship mind. So she'll basically buy ship mind. We need to put one together. Steal a ship mind, freight operator. We can't do any of that. Okay. Let's see what we get. Nah, not a great exchange for that. So if we had 300 credits, we could just straight up buy a ship mind core. Okay, and what's that? Tumbler's Tea House. Okay. And in the gun box. Okay. As you go to leave the Tumbler Tea House, a hand falls in your soda. Sleeper thing hisses from behind you. How did you find me? The penguin, you whisper. Penguin, what are you? He thinks for a second. Oh, do you mean he mimes throwing gum into his mouth? It wasn't meant for you specifically, but he cringes. Look, it doesn't matter. Come, let's sit. Feng guides you down a set of stairs to one of the Tumbler's lower levels. The tea house is stacked with curved magazines. So mazzinas, all connected by a central auditorium. The levels are filled with makeshift booths and bars, and the conversation bounces busily off the metal walls. Feng sees you looking around. This place used to be a fuel tanker's main drum, hence the name for tea house. Part is a bit of a misnomer though. You can get anything the eye offers from this place, but real tea isn't exactly readily available. He picks a booth itself fashioned from some old salvage tank and container, lined with spongy insulation foam, and collapses into it. He looks around furtively. Don't suppose you've seen any Havana agents types? They don't usually come out this far. What is going on, then, you say? Well, I'm suspended, that's the first thing. And the second thing is I'm pretty sure Hayden wants to drop me off the rim of the eye. He grins. Doesn't bother me, though. It shows we hit a nerve back there. He picks a scrabby, hand-scored menu from the table and tosses it over. What are you drinking? What's the plan? Plan. He waves his hand. Let's order first. Feng is right. The menu is ridiculous. There's at least 10 different infusions, most of which you can't make out, but the paper is dominated by an extensive complement of exotic alcohols and cocktails. Black tea is listed without a price as seasonal speciality. So you ran into Hayden. Was he pissed? Feng didn't wait for an answer. That snake is so self-righteous he might actually believe that Erlin would approve of his metrocratic bullshit. He taps on the table. If Havanage was like it should be, like it was founded to be, they would have shouted him down at any council meeting he dared to mention true citizens. He sighs, but I guess his kind runs the place now. A young woman with a vine tattoo snakes her arm around her arm. A young woman with a vine tattoo sneaking up her arm, turns up at the booth. Slate in hand, your order. You skim the menu, your eyes glaze over. It's time to pick something. Groll. Neat, you say. Feng taps the table to order same. And you? She begins looking to Feng, but when she sees him, she suddenly stops. What the? Feng shrinks a little. You're supposed to be working. This is your shit, she grins sheepishly. You're supposed to be working. This is your shift, she grins sheepishly. You work here, you say? Feng waves to you to look quiet. Look, Jenny, let's just say this is my break. My friend here has been through a lot. Jenny looks between the two of you. Nod. Feng also starts nodding. 2 minutes, says Jenny, pointing at Feng. And only because I don't want to get dragged into whatever this is, she gestures at the table and walks off. What? Feng stretches out of the booth. You know how it is. We all have to eat. Plus, he leans in. This is the best place around here to find a person you might be looking for. Who? Remember that web of connections that Hayden pinged the moment you confronted him? Those are his collaborators, and if we want to understand what a Solheim executive might be getting up to on the Eye, those are people we have to find. Feng is almost whispering now. There's a couple of them I suspect are in the lower end, and well, almost everyone in the lower end comes through this place at one time or another. He brings a modified slate out onto the table. I've set this up so that when anyone with a network signature I'm looking for comes into close proximity, it'll make them. Once they're marked, we can break through the access protocols and get good stuff inside. We just have to find them first. Hence my moonlighting as a waiter. Suddenly a smile grows across his face. Wait, I have an idea. Oh no, you groan. Look, I can't cover enough of the lower end on my own. So far, I've had no match in this. I have no matches in this place. With the two of us, we can cover more ground. What am I getting into? You sigh. Well, Feng has a hagdog look. We need to get you out and about in the lower end, in close proximity to as many people and residents as possible. And it turns out my friend Minji needs some help with deliveries. As in Minji Express. So you already know him. Perfect. Feng presses a tiny receiver onto the table. This connects to my slate and runs the same marketing protocol. If you get near any of our targets, so all we have to do is take some delivery shift for old Minji, and soon enough we'll have the place covered. Feng, you groan. Don't give me that. You think I like working here, and I thought you could use the tips, he grins. We are in this together, right? Are we, you say? Yes. You think Hayden is happy to have you wandering around the place? He might have let you wander off for now, but I'm sure he has an eye on you. This is on you too. Feng slips his slate back into his clothes. Just head on up to Minji's Express, take a delivery shift, and we'll see what shakes up. You'll manage to find anyone and extract the data, bring it right down here to me. They have me on double shift, so I shouldn't be hard to find. Jaina walks past carrying a tray of drinks and sharply catches Feng's eye. I don't think she'll bring your drink, he stands. I think it's time to call this meeting into a close. He grabs the receiver from the table and slips it into a pocket. See you soon, sleeper. Stay safe, Feng adds, before turning and walking off towards the bar, whistling as he does. Oh, yeah, that's great. Man. Okay, so we can't do that. Another crit success would get that open up so we can actually go up there. We could try and buy a ship mine, which might be doable. Okay. Let's do this. I need the extra money. Okay. Because we're going to lose a lot. I'm going to use the last dice here to get us up the spire to see what's up here. Okay. Take the ascend card to the eye's central hub. Send the car. The hub. Okay, so access manifests, space socializing. Okay. Interesting. So there's more stuff that we can do up here in the central terminal. And then we can descend back to the lower arm. Okay. I'm gonna throw some more energy, so 6 credits to get some more energy back, which just about covers us. It's not great. Probably gonna have to use some things going forward next cycle then, or spend money. Yeah, I'm gonna have to spend money. But first we've got to reroll because that hand is garbage. Slightly better hand. Okay. Yeah. It's free. I'm probably going to have to... 15 credits is a lot, but I'm losing a lot of energy. Okay, our energy is back. We're looking pretty terrible for that. So I'm going to hit. First of all, I'm going to hit that up for a crit success. Okay. We're at the top. Weightless Wanderer. So this is all engaging in interference stuff that we don't have a lot of. Okay. Can't do that. That's selling ship mines. It's not repairing the blinking things. The Ort Exchange, I think, will... Okay. So if we want to, we can play the exchange. Yeah. And that goes up. We'd have to sell 4 bits of scrap, which I'm not happy with, to get this ticked up all the way. But I think if we can get the parts together, we'll be in a good shape. Okay, so that opens Fabricator. So we fabricate a ship mind. Okay, so we can do that. Okay. We got an upgrade point. Okay. So, intuition, we can get that up. I'm not really interested in that. I'd be happy to use scrappers at home to repair components. It's not great, but I'd like to get engineering up. Or we could just straight go and get intuition up even further. But I think this is... Okay, we only have 1 point. Okay. That's the auto exchange. I got a Havana code. Let's do that. You got cryo from it, so it's not too bad. Because my condition is going down, I will have to then pay out 80 credits to get it up. Okay, that increases a bit as well. None of these are good. I'd rather just lose energy if I'm being honest. Yeah, energy we can easily replicate. So I can just go to the bar and have a drink, though it won't last me very long. The glass shatters on the stool bar beside you, and the taunts don't take long to follow. Hey, Haunt, the spacer calls across the low room. What are you doing here? He laughs at his own lame joke, playing human. Ignore him. You hunt a little further, staring at the hundreds of tiny impact points that scar the bar surface. A hand falls in your soda, but as you flinch away at Pat reassuringly, you freeze in place. Out! The voice comes from behind you. Spat out like a shot. You turn to see bright eyes, dark hair, a stare that could breach the very wall and vent you all into the vacuum. As you turn back to the spacer, the second glass comes sailing through the air. Catch. You reach a hand out and the glass shatters across your forearm, showering you in fragments. Though the haze of glass and gruel of vapour, you see Tila leap the bar and close distance to the spacer. The thud as he slams into the wall echoes around the bar like thunder. Now flanked by other figures, quick to their feet, Tila throws the spacer out through the door and stands silhouetted against the rotunda's light. You touch your arm and it feels wet. Someone helps you to your feet and back onto your stool. Broken glass rattles as it's cleared, and a fresh measure of gruel is glossed out in front of you. That same hand, warm, heavy, falls in your soda once again. He isn't welcome back. We don't tolerate that kind of shit here. Tila flops onto the stool beside you. Let's get a look at you. She wipes the powdered glass from around the wound, and someone places a bottle of alcohol in a metal tin with tweezers on the bar. She disinfects them, then turns to you. That was an ambitious catch, she smiles, pulling a sliver of glass from your forearm. Stupid, but ambitious. You don't feel the pain, only the sting of status messages your body delivers concerning dermal damage and exposed structures. You do feel the care, though, as Tila's bright eyes search your thick synthetic skin for splinters. Watch her. Taylor works with the skill of someone who has had to pick glass splinters from the skin of a stranger before. She hones in on each bright shard with all the time tapping the tweezer tips in little rhythms that only she can follow. Tila smiles to herself. So, been on the eye long? Long enough, you say. I said just arrived. I thought so. I've seen you here a couple of times. A splinter clicks into the tin. Not everyone is like that idiot. We don't all hate you. She glances around. Some of the regulars, maybe they fear you. Maybe they're just curious. I don't know. But I do know that the Overlook is a safe place. I know what it's like to be new to this place. Trust me, see, meet your eye. I'm not trying to convince you of anything or separate you from your chits. I just want you to know that if you need somewhere, you can always come here. I know the rations we've got aren't much, and the company she leans in is limited. But if you need work, I'll happily put you behind the bar, and if you need Sigta, well, we can discuss that. You'll be safe. I usually have Francis on the door, but he's up in the green wave cycle, haggling with our supplier. Francis tends to be particular about what we serve, even if the clientele isn't. She places her tweezers in the tin with a clink. That's you, sleeper. Here. She slides the glass of Girol to you. This'll help. She stops, her hand still in the glass. Wait, does this help? I mean, can you get drunk? Let's find out, you say. She laughs. Just don't sit here too long. I'd hate to see you become a real regular. She walks back around the bar, gathering the glasses as she does, and before long is retelling how she threw that spacer out to a new group that just wandered in, completely with dramatic accents. She gestures in your direction and you instinctively look away, back to the warm surface of the bar. You take a sip of the Girol. The earthy fungal tones fill your senses, almost blocking out the sight and sound, like diving headfirst into a bog. You might not be able to get drunk, but this connection is something grown, something some fermented, something old, feels good. Okay, but before we end this episode, we do have the Sip Mind. Neo Vendor is ready to attempt imprinting. They want you to help. Sleeper must express plan before we begin. Neo Vendor is impatient. The prospect of being free of the vending machine is clearly too much to take. Sip Mind has no output features. Will be mute until slotted. What's the plan? The servo motors in the machine begin to rev. Neo Vendor, anxiety clear. First imprint Sip Mind, then slot imprint Sip Mind into physical ports close to hunter nests. Once slotted, will track hunter at each. Tracking will find core nest. Slot Sip Mind at core nest. Show hunter data to hunter. Hunter will conclude sentency. Hunter will invoke killer, and killer will kill. Yes, the lights of the vending machine cycle as Neo Vendor prepares. Physical ports likely sealed in old station. Will need keys, but yes, simple. The vending machine rocks a little. Any questions before imprinting? Why slot you in physically? I cannot access via network. Too dangerous. Hunter would find immediately. He lightens. The lights flicker, and am not like you, hybrid. Am native to cloud, easy prey. What's the core nest? Hunter keeps central data storage. Protocol must keep data outside self. Linked to secondary nests. Can triangulate from there. Let's get started then. The sound of all the servo motors starting up at once is painful. The screech rattles from the hard surface of the sealed dock and comes back at all angles. Neovend better be quick, or Havanage security will be here. Neovend voice peers amongst the squeals like a whispering cried by the wind. The machine is not designed for this task. Few sensors, limited inputs. I work blind. Wish me luck. In the top part of the compartment, a set of arms align with the Sip Mind, clanking, scraping against it. Good luck, you say. The metal creaks as the servos open the Sip Mind, its layers of silicon nestled like an onion skin. Once again, The main arm of the machine rapidly sifts back and forth, realigning the microscopic components, accessing, rewriting them, imprinting Neovend into its physical form. As you watch the hypnotic motions, your mind drifts into your own creation. What processes were used to emulate your mind, to copy the neural structure of that person who, as far as you know, still sleeps in some distant facility? What was lost? In what way are you a copy of that person, and in what ways are you something new? You know this much. You are a convenient loophole, a way of circumventing the legality of sentient AI. After all, you are an emulation, not a true digital being. You are neurological limited, still human. But what would you have become if you could have escaped this frame? Where then would the limits lie? The screeching stops. The machine powers down, dropping the bay into darkness. In the top compartment, the ship mind is whole again. You reach up, take it down, heavy, cold to the touch. Is Neoend inside this thing, or did the process fail? There's only one way to know. Time to find a nest and slot it in. So we got a another upgrade point. I will put this one into self-repair. It's not great. I'm not going to lie. I have used self-repair before. We basically exchanged scrap for a degree of... for basically a couple of points. That's as much as we basically get out of it. So as you can see, we use up a fair good chunk of our scrap to come back online. Though, to be honest, I'm not too bothered by that. I'd rather get us up to a good working state with our scrap, so we can save our money. Because I'd rather work really hard, get a couple more credits, and then buy the ship mind and give it to her, so we can keep our word to her. Then to basically, we should be able to function still. We should be able to function. We should be okay. That's for next time, folks. I've been Cornish-knight. This has been Citizen Sleeper, and I shall see you all again next time. Please like and subscribe. It helps me a lot, especially given how YouTube is these days. And I shall see you all again next time. Goodbye.